no joke.
Hey, what's happening, everybody, and welcome to another episode. This is episode number 21 during this pandemic of quality comedy time with me. I am your host, Quincy Carr. We're gonna have a lot of fun tonight. I got my homegirl, CORREY Bell. She is in the backstage waiting to come out. It is fall. I did say that last week, but we are in the midst of fall, and I had this revelation. I just had to let folks know. I don't know if it's just me, but in 2020, which is obviously a bad year, I did not get bit, not one time. Not one time did I get bit by a mosquito. Okay, and I have to say, that is huge because in Virginia, we live next to I guess it's the Dismal Swamp or something. And these mosquitoes are rampant. Like they are like muscular and everything. So they fight through everything. And I didn't get bit not one time. So apparently Corona did something good. Maybe it knocked out the mosquito population. I don't know. But I'm just trying to stay positive because this year has not been the best for a lot of people. And just recapping last week's show, I have my man Alex Scott, very decorated comic from right here in the state of Virginia. We were talking about comics who bomb on stage, and got a lot of engagement. People were laughing at the stories that we were both telling. But I wanted to correct something because I had a few comics say, I haven't gotten booed, but that don't mean that I haven't, done some things in comedy or I don't understand it. I'm like, what? So then I had to think about it. Okay, not everybody has to be booed to fully understand, how to, deal with crazy situations. You can just be bombing and not having a good set. So I just wanted to correct that. That was my bad. I didn't mean to make some of y'all feel like you weren't a part of the comedy game because you hadn't been booed. I've been booed, so I don't have any problem with admitting that. And then on top of that, the things that has happened in my career, I attribute that to being booed because I had to grow and I had to get better and I had to do better. So just wanted to throw that out there because there was a few people got a little sensitive on me. All right, this guest is a heat rock, I will say. She is a beast on the stage. In fact, before we even get into her intro, you guys got to check out this clip.
Who got kids? Parents in the audience. Where you guys at? Yes. Boom, boom, boom. As for the rest of you swallowers, I hate you, okay? Like, why would you not even join in it? Let me tell you something. Kids are the most expensive STD you can ever attract. Oh, my God. It ain't a pill, a cream, a shot that you can take to get rid of them.
Tonight's guest is a mother of 5. She has no problem putting any of them in her stand-up routine, and if you follow her, you know why. She has one of the highest viewed Laugh Factory video clips in Instagram. Well, on Instagram, I think it's one of the. I think it made history for the Laugh Factory Comedy Club. It's about her son Juicy, and you've seen her on all 3 seasons of TruTV's Laff Mobb Laff Tracks, and recently on Showtime's Monique and Friends, live from Atlanta. Welcome to the show, my homegirl CORREY Bell. What is up, CORREY?
Why would I say that about kids?
Well, because as you also said, you don't like your kids.
Well, let's be very clear. I love them because the Bible says I have to, and I want to go home to be with the Lord one day. I've read the Bible, Quincy. It says nothing about liking them. It says something about, feed, clothes, house, and that could be anything, but it don't say nothing about liking them. No.
You know what? You are absolutely correct. And I didn't even think about that. The Bible said, love thy neighbor as thyself, not like thy children as we have birthed them. Is that in the scripture?
But it also said, beat them and they shall not die. You will beat them and you will save their souls from hell. It's in the Bible. I didn't write it. It came from right.
You'll save their souls.
Soul. Why would
I
in that case, be a soul saver?
You know what? In that case, I'm definitely not going to hell. I got my fair share. I still got to mark from when I was younger. Like it never went away. My dad, like I'm from Texas, and he had the belt that had the rivets because he's a real cowboy type dude, and he whooped me with the rivets, and I still got that little mark. It ain't going nowhere. I just lie and say it's a birthmark.
It serves as a reminder. It serves as a reminder as to why you are a better person right now, Quincy. So you used to be thanking Daddy for that mark because now
Yeah.
you to show other people, look at, and I didn't die, but did you die?
Right. But I haven't gone to hell yet. Look, so 5 kids.
Yeah.
You're also a grandmother, but 5 kids, you're a traveling comedian, and from what I understand, your husband is also in the entertainment business as well.
Yeah.
How are y'all juggling these days, especially with school being virtual and all that stuff?
Lots of alcohol. There's a lot of alcohol. And sometimes the kids will share their alcohol with us too, but it's a lot of alcohol going on. You know what? Because they've grown up kind of in the industry, they're microwave children is almost what I like to call them.
Yeah.
It's very hard to be away from them, but it really has a lot to do with planning and scheduling and getting them accustomed to being very independent and very self-sufficient. Even when I'm home, because like when it's time to get up, my sleeping hours. I'm a comic. Okay, they need to do that by themselves. You gotta figure that out. Don't wake me up to say I'm have a nice day. No, you get out. Tell me when you get home to have a nice day. I should be woke by then. Don't tell me in the morning at 8 o'clock.
Yeah. So your children's ages range from what to what?
So my girls are 23 and 21, and the boys are 16, 15, and 13. And
16, 15,
and 13.
Ooh.
I know, but my boys are dope though. Like I would much rather have teenage boys right now than teenage girls right now. I've been through the teenage girl stage. I can't even believe they still alive. Okay, and got all their teeth. I have no idea how they managed to do that. It was nothing but the Lord who was on their side. Okay, and a good dental plan, because girls are different. Boys, no matter how crazy they are, and y'all are a different breed.
Yeah,
they love their mother unconditionally all the time. They never want to see me sad, sick, or angry, because they know I'm a little off. I'm a little, I ain't all the way there. But for the most part, my boys are absolutely, my girls are not spawns of Satan. Now, don't get me wrong, but girls between the ages of like 11 and 21, no sirree, Bob. I'd rather set the house on fire.
My daughter is 10 and a half.
Oh, good luck. Oh, I'm going to start now. I'm going to start praying for you now. But there's something else. But my husband, they love their daddy. They love their daddy. So I think it's just a thing. But the boys have grown up in a world of, being on schedule, knowing when I leave, knowing when daddy's leaving, how to communicate with us when we're out of town. Like, so it really, like, when my son, if I'm out of town and my son gets up in the morning, like the phone is right there when he's brushing his teeth. So like I'm literally right there most of the time.
Hold on, tell me, my wife is checking in, and she said, Corey, I need some tips on raising teenage girls. We're approaching that age, and I really want both of us to survive.
Mr. Carr, let me explain something to you, baby. Only the strong survive. Whatever you think you may need to do to get through the next 9 years, because it don't really come around the curve until they get ready to go to college, and then you become, oh, you might have been right. Oh, I think you ain't. Them. One day, I'm gonna give you a quick story. One day, my 14-year-old daughter got in trouble. She was cursing. She was cursing on Instagram, cussing like a sailor, like a mama. She was cussing. And somebody saw her, and the parent called me. So when I got home, me and her had to have a little, a meeting of the hands. Yes, beat them and they shall not die, Quincy. Beat them. So maybe about 2 or 3 hours later, she came downstairs. My husband and my sons, they were smaller. They were in the bed. He was reading them a story. I was sitting on the edge of the bed. My daughter comes into the room, and she says to me at 14 years old, Mommy, I wanted to apologize because you were absolutely correct. I had no business using those words. But you did not have a right to take my phone because I bought that with my birthday money. So I'm coming to get it back. My husband and the boys crawled under the bed. Do you remember how they flipped the piano down in Color Purple? Whoop, time to go. That was the dog. The dog was like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and get up out.
Right.
I don't remember what happened, but when she came to, is all I'm gonna say. Like it, yeah, she would say stuff like the oldest one day got in trouble and said, "Your husband put me on punishment." Oh, he's not your daddy now; it's your husband. Some of the things that they come up with, you'll find yourself going, "Don't they know I'm crazy?"
Well, look, here's the crazy part about having kids when you're a comic. So they pick up on the quick wittiness and then say something like our daughter is learning to turn that stuff. Like I'll ask her a question and she'll just have the quickest snap. And it's almost like my question wasn't really like a real question I needed her to be serious about, but it was just a sarcastic question. And she's so quick with it. And I'm like, oh, this girl is going to be a problem.
Yep. That's that last one. I was trying to teach them some Black history. And I told my youngest son to come in the room and watch the Patti LaBelle and Gladys Knight. I said, come in the room and you come and watch Patti. This is history. My son stood right there with the straightest face, Quincy, I swear, and said, Patti LaBelle ruined my life 3 years ago with those pies. I refused, and walked back into his room. Now, those pies are terrible. So do I punish him for telling the truth? Like I was like, as you were, son, just go
right.
Because they right here, they get it, they pick up on it. It's the gift, and you sit down, you really do.
Yeah, that's exactly the way I feel. Like we both know that because both her mom and I are really quick-witted and we'll be, going back at each other and snapping. And so our daughter knows how to do that as well. Now, me and you, we met in 2018 while I was in town to tape my episodes of the Laff Tracks. And we met at Riddle's Comedy Club in Alsip, Illinois. Am I saying that right?
Yep, correct. Yeah.
Alsip. Now, for those of you that's not in or near Chicago, Alsip is like a suburb of Chicago, right?
Yeah, it's still in the city, but it's just south of Chicago.
Okay. Yeah, and right now, I believe good brother, fellow comedy brother Damon Williams still booking it. Is that correct?
Yes, he is. My dog.
Okay. Yeah. Like right before he started booking it, I was booked from some other agency, and I was booked as a headliner. So this was before he started taking it over. Like it would be nobody in there. So here I am flying from Virginia, happy I'm about to headline a club in Chicago, and literally I'm talking in a place that holds about 125. It was about 7 people, and 3 of them were crew members. So I was like, oh boy, what type of like where is my career going? But when I met you a couple of years later, that's when he had taken it over. And I'm gonna tell you something, Corey. I don't know if you remember that night. All right.
Yeah.
But it was crazy. I didn't know who you were. I just knew that me and you were both doing guest spots because I think my man Bodacious was there and TruTV Gordon.
Yep. TruTV just left here. He just did this past weekend.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Yep.
So, yeah, both of them are my peeps. And so, of course, I hit TruTV and said, hey, look, I'm in town. I'm taping the show. So I just want to kind of work on some of the stuff I'm going to do, like on the taping. Of course, you're there. You go up there, you're from Chicago, you murder the stage. And murdering is what you do anyway on the stage, okay? And I'm sitting there. Now, I'm a clean comic, right? I used to curse on stage a lot, and then now I'm just more like, like I don't say any better. So I contemplated. I said, don't nobody here know me or know my brand. I can come out with some F-bombs and try to get them on my side. And luckily, it worked in my favor. And I told you after, I said, I ain't gonna lie. like that kind of messed me up. Because you had a killer set and I had to follow behind that set. And it wasn't that you were cursing, you were just like raw with it, and it was your crowd and your people.
You know what the thing is? I absolutely remember that night. I that was the first time Ray and I had met in person. I like you, I was a really, really big fan. And I don't think that it was more so because I was at home, because no matter where you are, no two crowds are the same. Ever. I don't care what it is. But for me, it's like when you're a Black female comic and from Chicago, there's a few strikes you already have against you. So I have to come in louder than everybody else. I got to have more energy than all the other guys. I got to try to out funny them. I got to be cute, but not too sexy, because then they ain't going to pay attention. So it's like, and then you have to break the stereotypes, because now they see a loud, funny Black female comic. They're expecting sex jokes and weight loss jokes and dating jokes. And it's like, now I got to be able to cut away from that as well. So Chicago, if you know anything about Chicago is where you build your character.
Yeah.
Because we don't have very many comedy clubs, and now we don't have any Black comedy clubs at all. Damon is still kind of carrying the torch to have a night, where we can have comedy, but for the most part, we have the Laugh Factories and the Zanies. All of that is North Side. That's not us. So we do comedy in places that don't want comedy. We do them in the nightclubs. We do them in the sports bars. People are there to watch the game and get drunk or dance, or they didn't come to hear comedy. So now I have to, first, before I tell one joke, I got to get you to pay attention to me. I've got to get you to pay attention to me. And then once I get you to pay attention to me, now I have to get you to trust me. Now I got to get you to trust me. Once I get you to listen and pay attention and trust me, I can take you anywhere. We can go anywhere. I'm going to tell you a funny story. This past weekend, I headlined the Zanies. And once I knew that I had the crowd trusting me, I was like, I just want to see. I pushed my own limits on stage. And I said, I want to see just how far I can go. I said, I knew this pandemic was bad when I slobbed in my mask. You ever slob in your mask before? Like,
you smell that breath?
People went berserk. They were like, what? Like, it was crazy. But it's like, if you get them to trust you, you can take them on any kind of a journey that you want. And you build that in Chicago. One thing I can tell you is you won't really get famous in Chicago. You'll build your character. You'll build, like, you get your mechanics going here, and then you have to go elsewhere in order for the world to see you. And that's one of the things that we're trying to change, because we have the talent, but we don't have the mechanisms. We don't have the production studios. We don't have the name. Like, we don't have what New York and LA and Atlanta, we don't have what they have. So that's
I've interviewed a number of comics, Showtime Peace, my man Barry Brewer, my man Frank Townsend, just so many comics from the Chicago area that are now, new names in the industry now, but you got your D. Ray Davises, you got your Lil Rel Howard. So, I mean, Chicago has a footprint, I feel like, in the comedy industry. And it's amazing that there aren't, like, there's a few TV shows that get filmed out there and, a few small things, but it's amazing Chicago hasn't, done the Atlanta thing. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And that, if we get our hands on that, it's going to be dangerous.
Yeah.
It's almost going to be like a Black Hollywood, because, I mean, from straight stand-up to sketches, to short films, to like our level of entertainment, again, because we have to work so hard at it, it's ridiculous. We have a lot of comedy here, but it's not like LA where it's just completely oversaturated, or New York, because everybody's trying to get the part. So we build our muscle here, and then when we get to LA, it's like, excuse me, pardon me, excuse me, pardon me. Like, oh, Chicago.
And y'all, and y'all do that because you come from an area where it's like, it's thugged out central. So it's like, I know how to move amongst all these smoothie drinkers and all these all these lightweights.
Pilates experts. And don't get started.
You said something in an interview. It was really interesting, but it was also relatable for many comics. Who's trying to make this comedy thing their career. Let's check it out.
After you've gone up, smash the room, everybody's going crazy, they want to take pictures, they want to buy your merchandise, and then you get to the back and the person that's supposed to have your money is like, hey, let me holler at you, we didn't sell as many tickets today as we thought, or and now you don't have the gas money to get back home. It was like, oh, I can't live like this.
Now, that is about as real and relatable as it gets. For any comics that's tuning in, even if you're not a comic, you don't understand the struggle that we go through. I can only assume you're referring to us that don't like to pay at the end of a show. That is some of the most demoralizing feelings that you can have, and you hit that right on the nail.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you something. When you go to those that do not look like us, they tell you when they book you, hey, you got unlimited PBRs and hot wings, and we're gonna pass around the collection bucket. And you already know that you're leaving there with $8. Now, we will sell you a dream. Oh, the place gonna be packed. Oh, I got about 400-500 for you. And as soon as you come off stage, they're like, okay, so man, homie stiffed me at the door, man. You ain't gonna believe, I can't even believe this probably gonna be the last show I'm doing. All the while, we came up here on the wing and the prayer, and we gave it our all. We gave it our all. We gave everything that we had, and the crowd was like, oh, you should have headlined. You should. And it was like, and now I got to leave and go home and explain to my family how I allowed you to prostitute my gift.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Yeah, like that, like when you said that, to prostitute your gift, because we've been given a gift.
Yes.
And it's like I said, for any comics that's tuning in, like that's about as real as it gets. And like one of the reasons why I got more into the business side of comedy was because I always felt like it's business before it's comedy for me. And a lot of comics just say, hey, I just need to be funny. I don't care about the business side. You have to understand that it's a business. And if the business ain't right, you ain't going to feel happy, because you are doing this so you can get paid. So you have to operate as such. And so just you saying that was just a really good nugget to hear from somebody in the game.
It boils down to people understanding that comedy is a gift. Which means a few things. Number one, it was given to you, which means it's not yours. So be careful about your arrogance when it's flourishing, because just the same way that it's given to you, it can be taken away. Also, make sure that you are showing God and the universe, or whoever it is that you pray to or that you believe in, that you're appreciative of that gift. You have to, because that's the only way that it'll make room for you. That's in the Bible too. We'll talk about that later, because this ain't no church show. This ain't no church show. But it's like you have to understand how to use your gift to make room for you. And you have to be appreciative. You have to make sure that you are going on stage, whether you're getting $1 million or whether you get no dollars, whether it's 100 people in the audience or them 7 people that was at Riddles that night. You know what I'm saying? And you have to give the same show. Because one thing that I learned from being on stage with Monique is you dress up and perform for the people in the cheap seats.
Yeah.
Because those are the people that decided that they were going to give their last to see you, as opposed to probably paying a bill or doing something else. So those are the people that you give the show to. Everybody deserves the show. But those are the people that in 5-10 years that show up with that $5 picture that they bought or the t-shirt, and they say, I remember. I watched this lady for the last 2 years, and I watched people show up with these pictures of her from only God knows how long. And there were people that would come to the same show every year. So she got signatures from every year. And she never leaves until she hugs everybody that has walked through that door.
Yeah.
Everybody. Because it's just to be able to say, this is my gift. I shared it with you. But thank you, God, that I've been able to share it. So you just have to be very, very careful. You make sure that you allow your gift to take you to a place, and then you allow your attitude to keep you there.
Well, speaking of gifts and attitudes, I'm gonna tell you something. Like, just doing my research about you was very, very interesting because you hadn't been doing comedy for that long before Bob Sumner, who who definitely has his hand in a lot of comedians' career. Bob put you on the first of 3 seasons of TruTV's Laff Tracks,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And you flourished, and from there came some really interesting things. So what was it like, that feeling when Bob said, "Look, I'm about to put you on TV"?
Here's the funny thing about how that this is why you have to trust the process. This
Yeah.
is why because it's not your process. You have to trust the process because it's going to take you in a direction to be exactly where you needed to be. When I got called for that audition by Hot Sauce, shout out to Brandon Hot Sauce Glover too. Um,
Yeah.
super funny guy. When I got called for that, I passed on it because I was performing in Jamaica and
Hmm.
I wasn't able to, I'm like, I can't do it. I won't be here. And so I was like, well, maybe next time. Well, the Jamaica trip didn't happen. So I ended up just showing up as a support to the other comics that were performing at the show.
Hmm.
And in turn, somebody didn't show up for their spot. I ended up being able to audition because somebody missed their spot. And I ended up getting picked. So once that happened, and I was about a year, maybe a year and a half into comedy, and that's how crazy it was. So that was my first TV. That was the first time I'd ever gone to LA as an adult or being flown somewhere. And
Hmm.
the funny, I don't know if you remember. So they have the what do you call the breakfast outside when you go the craft services, right?
Okay. Right. Right. Right.
So I go out to craft services to get me some breakfast. And I don't know anybody. I'm there by myself, Quincy. And I was like, man, they got all this fruit up here. I wish they had some peaches. There was a white guy behind me that was like, comedian Bell would like peaches, ASAP. Somebody took that off down the street to Trader Joe's. My right hand guy to 5 other people. I could not. I'm like, let me try that again. Man,
Let me
it's
try
crazy that it ain't $20,000 in a bag sitting around here.
that. That's a good one.
But
So let me try this. Try
let me
this
try this
again.
one more time. But being treated the way that I was treated there, it was a first for me. And I knew that I never wanted to lose that feeling.
Yeah.
I never wanted to lose that. And so it was dope. It was tiring, but it was dope. It really
Yeah,
was.
yeah. I mean, everybody's first experience with craft services is always a memorable one. I remember mine, man. I'm taking granola bars, Nutri-Grain bars. I'm stashing stuff like I'm juicy. I'm stashing as many things as I can. They're like, Quincy, there is more. Like
I
you don't
still
have like, oh really? So
my bad.
like that's the right. Yeah, and I'll put that back. But I have to say this, homegirl. And again, for those of you, Bob Sumner is the creator of the Def Comedy Jam, and also he's the person behind Laff Mobs and Laff Tracks on True TV. So shout out to Bob
No,
for even opportunity that he gave me, because I kind of snuck through the back door in a little different way. But it was a girl. I don't know if you know who Stephanie McCrae is.
I know the name. Yeah.
Yeah, out in New York. So I'm talking to her on the phone, and she goes, "You need to submit something for Laugh Tracks, because your stories and stuff on stage, like, you would be perfect for it." And I said, "Really? I didn't think my stuff would be good for that." And so I submitted something, and I can't explain how the world works, how the universe works, but me submitting it, it got me through. My man Tracy Wiggs was the one who already knew me.
Shout out to
And
Tracy. He's in
yeah,
that whole crew.
yeah,
Marshall Brandon, Tracy Wiggs, Paul Bordette, like those
yes,
people, that whole team, and Bob Sumner, like he's just one of them guys that you, when you find a Bob Sumner, you make sure that you give him his flowers, because that dude changed a lot of people's lives. He definitely changed mine.
Hey, right here.
So it's an honor to be able to work with somebody of that caliber and still be able to call him right now and be like, "Hey, Bob, what you doing?" Now he gonna stay on the phone with you for 45 minutes. 45 easy. He gonna hold you because he an uncle. He
Right.
an uncle, so he gonna stay with you. But he's always dropping them gems, and I'll always be great. Bob was the first person to put my name in lights at the Apollo Theater.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Good dude,
To
man.
see your name on that marquee, knowing the greats that have had their name on that marquee, man, it was it Bob all right with me. That's what I'm
Yeah.
Bob all right with me.
Oh, well, I can say this. You know, like you were on all three. It's crazy because it's not like it was 3 seasons, but it was shot like it was 3 seasons.
Yeah.
It was really two, 2.5.
It was one and a half, and then 2.
Right. But you were on all 3 of them. And one of the funny, I mean, like you had some good ones, but one of the funniest ones, and you tell the story so well on stage, about you wearing high heel boots. It was on this recent one. And when I tell y'all, people that are tuning in, like I'm gonna play this clip, but y'all got to go to YouTube and watch the entire thing. But I'm gonna just play this clip so y'all y'all check it out, and then you just kind of tell us what led to that and why this story is so real. All right.
What I didn't notice is that third step had a crack in it. And then I traveled down the other 17 steps. On the way down, my wig jumped off my head. Said, "I'm not taking this trip with you." I got down to the bottom, and I did what anybody in here, any real woman with any kind of dignity left would do. I played dead.
Like that line right there is probably one of the most hilarious lines. Now tell us, number one, is that a true story? And 2, what led to the whole thing?
First of all, you fall down 18 concrete stairs, you supposed to be dead. So playing dead was not too far fetched. That's what you supposed to do if you got dignity. You play dead and let them help you. Okay. But number one, yes, that is a true story. That really happened. My husband really did work for the railroad. And what led up to that is my husband and I have been together for over 20 years. Okay. Yeah. If he's traveling, I'm traveling, or he's home, or whatever the case may be. And a lot of times couples forget to date. They forget to date each other. They forget that. And I came home one day and I was like, well, not only are we going on a date, but I'm going to be somebody different. We going to role play. And I wanted to be so outrageous, I'm going to go to his job. So I went to his job, dressed like a stormtrooper from Star Wars, okay? And it didn't go very well. It didn't. I'm just glad he still loved me, but I still ain't been to none of the company parties, the picnics. My whole caboose is out. Do you understand me? The engine and the caboose. No.
Yeah, but that you know, and the acting, because that's the other thing I wanted to ask you about. Like on the 2 episodes that I did, I felt like I came out on the good side because, because I've seen some of the skits and it's like the jokes while you were there live watching the other comic, or while you were even performing it as the comic, and then you watch it on TV and you be, oh man, did you feel like they didn't do justice on some? I mean, I felt like my 2 had justice on it, but there were a lot of people that didn't.
The 2 young ladies that played me were absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
They were and Juicy is from Chicago. Yeah. I've never met him, but he lives and works in LA now. Everybody here in Chicago knows him. And I was like, he looks just like my son without hair. Like it was crazy how they did that. So I was completely pleased. The guy who played my husband is actually really good friends with my husband. Nice. It was like, who knew? How did that even trust the process? So I was completely blown away when I saw. I was very happy because some people like, I just want to play myself. And I probably could have. but I'm glad that the people that they did get to play me, they were
Yeah.
perfect. I love that both of them came out. All of them came out great.
Oh yeah, I felt the exact same way overall. I was talking to Cypher Sounds a couple of months ago. I had him on the show, and he was telling me that officially that he was informed that there would be no further seasons of Laff Tracks. So I feel like I'm in good company with all the comics that were blessed to get an opportunity to be on the show, and.
Yeah.
And for all the critics and people that had their own opinions, this is so not funny, or the acting is horrible, or the comedy is horrible. Just understand, a lot of work went into that, and they had to turn a joke into a reenactment, and so that was a lot of it. So
Let me tell you something. Jill Scott said it best. Everything ain't for everybody.
right.
But I'll tell you what is the proof is in the pudding. I don't know if you've done this yet, Quincy, but if you go on to TikTok, you'll find people remaking your joke. You probably haven't even searched it yet, but I guarantee you that you'll find your joke from TruTV if you go and search it. There are people who there are hundreds of them redoing Juicy. I had no idea somebody found it on and tagged me in it. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God. And there were just people from all over the world reenacting. Every time I pull up, it's like, I'm not mad that my kid is fat. I'm mad that he does that. So it really is. So people can say what they want. Not everything is not for everybody, but the proof is in the pudding. Somebody like it because it had 3 seasons.
Hey, look, I tell you this. My stuff gets played on XM radio. It gets played on the LOL network. I get a little, and you know about the check.
Come on, Sound Exchange.
Sound Exchange. We get the little bitty check from Sound Exchange, but that's something that I never would be in the position to even. I mean, I've had people screenshot they're driving in their car and they're listening to Sirius XM, and they'd be like, man, you on the radio. I'm saying your name. And I'm like, I never would have had that opportunity. So regardless, yes, absolutely. Huge thing. And yeah, and before we move any further, I definitely got to plug my sponsors. I want to do I do this with all my guests, but it's called Going Completely Off Topic. We've been talking about your career and everything, but let's go completely off topic if you don't mind, okay?
Let's do it.
All right, so a guy who wears skinny jeans versus a guy who sags his pants. Which one would you be attracted to if you weren't married?
Oh, yeah. That is tough because I'm probably going to now watch this glass half full. I'm going with the dude that sags his pants because I'm gonna say he was on a weight loss journey like me and he just needs a belt. And for that, I'm sent there to help him. Skinny jeans, man, I'm not going to be able to help, okay? Because I'm not going to go on the dryer and figure out if these are his jeans or my daughter's jeans. I'm not doing that. I'm just not going to do it.
Oh, my God. You know what? Never thought about that. You gotta figure out.
These baby girls. Because they both got sparkles on the pockets and they tight at the ankle. I don't know. Talk about these Robin's jeans. They $400. Well, Robin will change because I got to be Dazzler that I can do that with.
Okay, that's a good one. She said, "You both got sparkles on the thing."
Oh, thank you.
Okay, all right. The next one. Which of your 5 children are your favorite? Every parent of multiple kids has a favorite child. Which one is your favorite?
Jaden is my favorite child.
Yeah.
Jaden, hands down, he is second to last. He is my gentle giant. He is very out of the way, very Gandhi, and he's the one that looks like me the most.
Yeah.
But he is now the other ones I kind of like them, but I really like Jaden the most. Because he likes to sleep. And when you sleep, you don't ask for stuff. Them other ones don't know how to go to sleep. They always doing this. But see, Jaden, he'll be sleep all the time.
Right.
He don't ask for nothing. So
That's your favorite.
He my favorite.
Yeah, and here's the crazy part, Corey, because you are whispering right now, which means the other kids are in the house,
They on the
and
other side of the door.
and you try not to hurt people's feelings.
No, I don't care about that at all. I just don't want anybody to try to overdo it so that they can now be the favorite.
Because there can only be one.
There can only be one.
It's just like a black comedian in Hollywood. There can only
There
be
can only be one. There can literally only be one. So that's the one.
Okay. All right. Well, here's the final one. If you hit the lotto, okay, what's the dumbest thing you couldn't avoid doing at least once? Everybody has a dumb thing that they gonna do.
Buy a llama. I want a llama.
I did not think you were gonna say llama.
I'm buying a llama. I'm buying a llama.
Hold up, like the one that's in the like the one that's in the Geico commercial when the kids is playing Marco Polo and the llamas.
I want the most untrained ghetto farm llama. Don't give me one out the zoo. Give me one from off the side of the road from wherever they are natively from. I want, because who's gonna check you if you got a llama? Everybody buy, like, I saw Big Boy had a hawk. Big Boy mouth has. He had a hawk. They get all these exotic animals and tigers and give me a llama. I bet you nobody got no llama.
I credit Michael Jackson for all these exotic stuff because everybody remember the album cover. Everybody remember the Thriller album cover. The brother was laying next to a tiger. Ever since then, black folks said, you know what? When I get that Michael Jackson money, I'm going to get a whole trough of piranha just swimming.
Yeah.
I'm going to do something extravagant.
And it's going to be dumb because you're going to have it for one day. Because what's black folks' favorite line when you go to their house? Get your dog. They scared of dogs. So now we want piranhas and gators. Get your dog. My dog don't bite nobody. Get your dog. I don't like dogs. Get your dog. It's always
You know what? I am so sick and tired of black folks with these vicious dogs that say he don't bite nobody. Your dog is foaming at the mouth at me. Please.
He like you.
Please.
He like you.
Right.
Like he only foam when he likes people. He just want to sniff you.
No, sir. Like, stop saying that, black folks, to your guests. You know, he ain't gonna do nothing to you. As soon as you turn around, that dog is like, oh yeah.
In your lap, finna take your head off.
Okay. All right. Well, that was definitely something unexpected. Corey is gonna buy a llama if she hits the lottery.
You don't want no llama. That's crazy.
No, I think the dumbest thing I'm going to do if I hit the lottery is buy some more lottery tickets because my chances have just increased.
Yeah, I'm buying every number.
Spend $1 million in lottery tickets. How can I not win again?
You can't lose. And then you could buy a bunch of llamas. Like you could buy you could buy an emu.
I'm not trying to get spit on.
No, you train them to spit on other people. It's a Black Lives Matter emu. See, that's too much information.
That's a whole nother thing. Hey, Corey, look, I'm gonna drop you backstage right quick, and then we'll be right back to wrap up this interview with a little bit more from Correy Bell, y'all. All right, hey, thank y'all for continuing to tune in, and we've gone past the halfway point. That's what happens when these conversations are very engaging. Again, big shout out to my sponsor, Melinda Mylock of Just Dance On, your ballroom Latin dance desires. If you want more information, just find her on Facebook at Just Dance On. Okay. Let me see. Oh, and real quick, look, I got this shirt out here. I've been promoting my other shirt. The perfect human. I strive to be perfect, but end up being human. But this shirt is really missing the attention. Number one, we were talking about Laff Tracks, my performance on Laff Tracks, the bed and breakfast bit. If y'all remember that, this was the phrase, come on, let's do something. And so this shirt has the words that glow in the dark. So this is a decent shirt. It's a different type of shirt. And anybody that would like this shirt, okay, It's a very good shirt, and it fits all situations. Like, you can have this shirt. Come on, let's do something. Like, come on, Black people, let's start making positive changes in our neighborhoods and things of that nature. Hey, this could be to your spouse. Come on, let's do something. The words glow in the dark. You ain't even got to say it. Turn the lights on. Let the words say what they got to say. And anybody that wants to get a shirt, I'll also give you a wristband that has the positive message. I strive to be perfect, but end up being human. So if you guys are interested, come on, let's do something. Glow in the dark shirts, y'all. Leave a comment and I will respond to you afterwards. Okay, cool. Let's bring Correy back. Correy, let me find where I was, because your career changed. You mentioned it earlier when the queen of comedy, Monique, saw you on stage. You I think you came to do like some it wasn't an open mic, like a guest spot. That's right. You showed up to do a guest spot, and you walked up stage and you thought you had done something wrong based on her reaction. So talk about your relationship with Monique, and the positivity and the things that people don't know about her.
With Monique, what you see is exactly what you get.
Yeah.
She's just that person. I think the opportunity or the challenge is a lot of people, oh, look at them cute little pictures. Hey, girl. People don't get to see her.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they don't get to know her. And a lot of people, well, not a lot of people, there were a few people who were influential in painting a picture of her that's not who she is.
Right.
And it taught me a lot to understand and to learn who people are for yourself. We used to have this thing where if my friend don't like them, then I don't like them either. You know what I'm saying? And I learned very early on that you can't be that person. But it really wasn't on stage. How it happened was, I saw that she was coming to Chicago, and I posted an Instagram message. And on the Instagram message, I said, hey, I need all of my friends to tag Monique and tell her to let me open up for her. And about 15 minutes later, she commented and said, well, meet me at the Chicago Improv. And I was like, what?
That's dope.
What? Now that's crazy. So after I did, I went on stage, but right before I went on stage, and Quincy, you work with some big name people, there's certain things that we do and we don't do, and there's a code. And I said to her before I went on stage, is there anything or any subject that you'd like for me to stay away from? And she said, 350 people in that audience, sold out audience, bought tickets to see me. I want you to make them want to come back and see you. Nice. Leave it all on the stage. She said, we can talk about the exact same thing, but we lead two completely different lives. So we'll do it, differently. So that's what I did. I was in Chicago. It was like being at Riddle.
Yeah.
Chicago. I gave them the best 5 minutes. And when I came backstage and she was crying and she made everybody leave the room, I was like, oh, so this is what it feel like to get fired. Okay, that's crazy. Good thing this was like a volunteer spot, And,
right.
With tears in her eyes, she said, I've been looking for you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she said, in 30 years, I never thought that I'd be graced with the presence to be able to work with someone else as brilliant as I did with the Queens of Comedy.
Nice.
Because those women were brilliant. And then she asked if I would finish out the weekend with her. And of course I said yes. And then at the end of the weekend, she asked if I would, go on the rest of the tour with her. And I was like, yes. So we did one date in California. And at the end of the weekend, she pulled me to the side and she said, look, I know I asked you to go on tour with me, but unfortunately, the tour is ending. We have to end the tour. So you're not going to be able to finish the tour with me. But in 2 weeks, I'm actually going to start my residency in Las Vegas. Yeah. That's why the tour has to end. And I'd be honored if you would come to Vegas with me and play on stage.
Go
now,
ahead,
at that
girl.
moment, you could have knocked me over with a feather and bought me for a
penny. I remember your Instagram post on it. Yes, I remember the Instagram post. I said, yo, that is fire.
Listen, I have a thing about say it till you see it.
Yeah.
I have a thing about just being big on manifesting something. Don't say it out of your mouth unless it's something that you really want. And when you say it, work on it until it happens.
Mm,
Period. I
yeah.
don't care what it is. You work on it until it happens. So when I said the whole thing, because there's another post from a couple years ago that I went to go see Jill Scott. The power went out. And when we were on the way out, there was a big picture of Monique. And I said, one day my picture will be right next to hers. And when we were in Vegas, about 3 months in, a guy came and brought us both sketches that he made of us when
Yeah.
the Vegas residency was over. She
Hmm.
allowed me to take her picture home with me. So now mine is right next to hers, just like I
Oh
said it
yeah.
would be. So it's you have to say it till you see. I am a believer 100%. You cannot make me doubt it. Like if you say something to me, Quincy, and I don't believe you, I'm going to make you stand on it. Because if
Yeah.
that's what you want as your friend, as your colleague, as your comedy co-worker, my job is to make sure that you're preparing yourself for when it really happens. You know what I'm saying? And then just trust the process until it does.
Yeah, I
So
mean that's what one of the viewers said. They're just quoting things that you had said before. Shouts to Aniel and my
yes,
man Tori. Shout out to Crystal Liggins. I see that you're tuning in. I mean, like that's some serious nuggets that you're dropping. And I know, like I had an opportunity to meet Monique. I was texting you about that earlier today, and I met her. She was in town while I was filming. I was shooting my comedy special, and I was so bothered by, man, like I've been in the game for 16 years at this point, and I'm finally shooting my own comedy special. I had paid all this money to get all the stuff right, and dang it,
here
look
she
who's in
comes.
town this weekend,
Why would
and
she
it's gonna
come?
pull. And it didn't pull from my audience. I still had a great. I shot. I mean, I did two shows, and both shows. I think the first show was like probably like a third of the way. I'm sorry, like I'd probably say about 70% sold out, and the second show was about 80 to 90. But what I said to myself is, I said, she's in town. I've seen her a couple years ago, and I didn't get a chance to speak to her. So I said, I am going to go up there, and I am going to wait for her, because I think after that Saturday show, she was leaving because she just did a Friday and a Saturday, and I
Yep.
taped it on the Saturday. And I waited, and I talked to my security guard homeboy, and I said, "Hey, is Monique already done?" He said, "Well, I think her people are up there and making sure she's getting paid and all this stuff." So I said, "So is she coming out this way or the other way?" And he
Uh-huh.
said, "Well, she'll be coming out this way." And she came out, and like she had knew me. She opened up her arms. I had my shirt for her. Hey, Monique, I'd like to give you this shirt because of your journey that you talk about, people judging you, and this shirt is about, people not judging. And she hugged me like we knew each other. She took a picture, and it was
Yep.
4 years ago. So what you're speaking on, the type of person that she is, just she sees you, and
And she loves on you. It's just
yeah,
what she does. And she just loves on you. And I think what happens is people have a problem when you say no, because they think that you should just be grateful
mm,
to be in the room, or you should be grateful to that someone chose you, or you should be grateful. And for that, you're supposed to overexert yourself, overextend yourself. You're supposed to
hmm,
do more than what's required. You do that at your discretion,
yeah, yeah,
but it's not a demand. And people have a problem with her saying no and standing up. So um you know being barred, blackballed from Hollywood going on 11 years now.
yeah.
um she's never stopped touring. Every show that we've ever done has always been sold out,
Of
no matter,
course,
all the way through Vegas. No matter what city we went to afterwards, they still show up, you know so for people to think that she doesn't deserve what she's asking for.
yeah,
Um, I think that a lot of that is based on what we see right now, because I don't have a thing against internet comics at all. I
yeah,
don't. I think that it's just another genre of comedy, just like improv, just like sketch comedy. I think that that's the new wave, but they want you to be funny fast, and
mm,
people book based off popularity.
Right.
You know, and the thing about internet comedy is if people don't laugh, you can take that down. When I'm standing in front of this audience,
That's right.
you can't remove that. And I heard you first thing you came in was talking about bombing. You know what's worse than being booed is when people don't say anything
Right.
and they
Right.
start looking. That's worse than a boo. That will make you want to go outside and stab yourself.
Right.
Like,
Right.
so
That's bombing. Like if you out there giving it your all and everybody just sitting back like, I mean, I ain't gonna boo him, but this dude whack.
Yeah, I would rather you boo me because that means you at least paid attention to the joke. If you don't boo me, now I'm up here going, hey, that last joke is funny. I don't know what's going on with y'all. Oh, when you start
I tell you what, booing is the equivalent to someone putting on your post, I'm going to unfollow you. I didn't like what you just said. Like you paid that much attention to me that you had to tell me that you was going to unfollow me. That's what booing is.
Yeah.
But when you put out a post and you know the post was fire and don't nobody hit it,
and it's cricket.
That does hurt because that does hurt because
that hurt right
here. Yeah, absolutely. Look, Tori, hold up. What did Tori say? Y'all gonna feel on Kirkpatrick's Tony Baker? Oh yeah. My man made a Tony Baker reference, and Tony is a brilliant dude, by the way. You know, in the business. Because we're going a little bit long, but that's fine. Let me do this trivia question real quick, and then I still got a couple of quick things that I would like to talk to you about. But so the trivia question, and do me a favor too, because I want to make sure people were paying attention. And this one may be the hardest one of them all. I do recall you saying your favorite child's name. So if you, Corey, on the side, I don't know if you can, or just text it to me just so I get the correct name so I can verify it. If you were paying attention, what is her favorite child's name? What is her favorite child's name? The first person to put it correctly in the comments, I will send you some cash via PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, however you guys do it. But what is her favorite child? She has 5 kids and only one made the cut. Only one of them made the cut. So the first person to say the correct one by the end of the show, I will mess around and verify that. So make sure that you text it to me before we get off or even when we get off, just so I can verify it. All right. So the one thing that we were talking about also was being sensitive, right? And we're living during sensitive times right now. And regardless if the material is from real experiences, the one thing about you that I love about you is you don't pull any punches. Like whether you're talking about, you know, how fake people need to be out of your life, or you talking about, look, I'm a plus size woman. Yeah, I lost weight, but I'm still plus size, but I still look good. Don't shame me. You don't pull any punches, especially in particular with your children. Do you get backlash about the Juicy story and how you tell that story?
Of course. No matter what you do, someone's not going to like it. Or as my grandmother would say, you could be the ripest peach in the basket and there'd still be somebody that hates peaches. Always. We've gotten to a place where we are so sensitive that we've forgotten how to laugh. Everything is personal. We're apologizing for things that we should not be apologizing for. And if you don't have a safe space in comedy, where a lot of things are make-believe, it's made up. This is not, you know, it's fictitious. You know, if we allow sensitive people to take that away from us, what do we have? We cannot allow somebody to stunt our gift. You know, we just can't. And I just don't, I can't see myself. I apologize in the beginning before the show can start. I tell them, if you are offended by anything that I'm going to say tonight, I suggest you grow some thicker skin. These are all jokes. I don't know any of you in the audience, and if I do, it may or may not be about you. It may or may not.
Well, see, from my standpoint, because my wife, I mean, she'll be the first to tell me that like that's being fake if you ain't speaking on it. But the first time I saw the bit, it was so believable how hard you came with it. I said, why would you crap on your own children like that? Like that's like what about like and this was a viral clip. And so I'm thinking about he's gonna go to school, his mama is famous, and everybody, could start bullying him. So I even question it myself. As a comic living in this sensitive age, but the way you were talking about it was so believable. It was almost like you were angry. So, do you think that that probably lends to maybe people feeling it because that's how you do the joke?
I think that people will interpret it however they want.
Hmm.
My son and I did a skit that he thought of when quarantine first happened, about first day of homeschool. And in the skit, I made him get up, put his uniform on, go outside, stand in the driveway till I called his class, and people were like, "That is child cruelty," and we are calling the cops, and like, why would you do that? You're traumatizing your son, and this, that, and the other. Same thing, and it was like, you guys have never even seen my son, so you don't know
Hmm.
if it's juicy or not. And at the time that I made that, we didn't have a juicy, but everybody can relate because that's normally how I start off the joke. Like, who has fat kids? Because you either know one or you used to be one. You either
Yeah.
have one, know one, or used to be one. So I try to make it as relatable as possible. And it was so relatable that people were like, your son's going to grow up and see this and he's going to commit suicide. And it was like, slow down. Slow down, shorty. If you understood how talented and how, like you said, how quick-witted our kids are,
Yeah.
because they grow up in this, they watch it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't starve a thing and it'll die. And I
Mm.
don't really feed into it. I don't, because if you take your eyes off of the people that are applauding you and clapping for you and rooting for you and supporting you, and you're always addressing the haters and the
Yeah.
naysayers, it's like, what about the people that are going out of their way to make sure that you're good? Now you're not
Mm.
giving them any time. Distractions are expensive.
Yes. Yes.
They cost.
Yeah, and see on the flip side of all that, with you being a mother of black sons, wow, like you being from Chicago, everyone knows that Chicago's in the news for the gun violence, the black on black. But you and some comedians, including Damon Williams, all y'all came together, and I had never seen that in the comedy community. Y'all came together to speak on and and talk about black on black violence. I think we got a little clip here.
When you start killing kids, you're actually killing our future.
You can't hold anybody else accountable until you hold yourself accountable. Because if you know something and you don't say something, you're just as guilty.
Wow. So, like, who was responsible for bringing that together? Because I mean, like, that was powerful.
A black mother.
Mm.
um Here's the thing. If we are the superstars of our community and we can beg you to buy our tickets and come to our shows and buy our merchandise and share our videos, and you guys are always saying, "Oh my God, you're so funny. We always come to your shows." Those are the same parents that are losing their kids and their spouses, and these are the same parents. So if they can show up for us, how dare us not be able to show up for them?
Mm.
Because it could we all live in these same communities, and it could very well be one of our children.
Yeah.
And we had a couple comics out there where it has been their children,
Mm.
and it's like, we can wait on the Kanyes and the Michael Jordans and the bigger names, but we're the ones that these people see all the time in the neighborhood. So if I'm
Yeah.
your superstar, this is the time. When I needed you to buy a ticket, you bought it and you came. What happens when you need me? And so
Mm.
after that, we put on a show. Um, we did a comedy show. Shout out to Laugh Factory for allowing us to have a free, range in that space. And all of the proceeds, the $1,500, we donated to one of the community centers right there in the heart of Inglewood. So
It starts with one, and I appreciate the fact that it at least it happened, because a lot of people is already talking, like that they still talk about, well, what about black on black? Well, what about what's going on in Chicago? Nobody is standing up. It's not that y'all are not. It's just that nobody is reporting on it.
yeah,
So
they
you can't tell me that black people in neighborhoods and rough neighborhoods aren't fed up. Like there's no way in the world that we're just like, hey, that's just the way it is. But that white man shouldn't be shouldn't be shooting up people. No, no. It's only going to be glorified when it's something that makes the news.
For me, it's not a this or that. Someone dies, it is a life lost, whether it's by a racist, whether it's a trigger happy cop, or whether it's somebody that looks just like me. And my grandmother always say, sweep around your own front door. If we want to be, we have to be the change that we want to see. If we don't want the cops and everybody coming in our neighborhood and ruining it, guess what? We know exactly who's doing what in our neighborhoods. And if we don't, we need to get our heads out of the sand. We'll be mad at the police for not solving the murders. We'll be mad at the prosecutors and the mayor and the superintendent. But we got these killers sleeping right here in our house. We got to sleeping right, and I promise you that those are one of the issues, because I have little black boys and I grew up in the hood. And a big black husband who may look like he's a threat to someone. I have no problem with speaking about it, ever. I never do. So when it comes to our babies, we also have to make sure that, we're always preaching about we need these programs in the hood and we need that. But the programs that we have, a lot of times we don't really know about, we don't research about, and we don't utilize the resources that we have. And then we want more. So we can hold everybody accountable.
Good.
But you have to do me first. That's why I have no problem with talking about other people in my jokes, because I started with me. And I can talk about, if I can talk about me and I can talk about my family, none of y'all are off limits. I will not hold back. I put mine out there, dog, you next. But you got it. But as far as that the crime in Chicago, trust me, Trump makes it a point to always point out Chicago, because we don't allow him to come here and do and say as he wants to. The last 2 times he tried to land in Chicago, he never made it off the plane. That's gangster. That's
Chicago for you.
Crap to us and then try to walk up in here. We don't care if you do got a Trump Towers down here. You better tell him to FaceTime you.
That's definitely some nuggets, Corey. And it's like I said, like until today, me and you really hadn't had a an opportunity just to sit and talk. But it's it's good to speak with beautiful, like-minded souls that have like that driven attitude, and that's what I definitely know that you have. But you also have that consciousness too, that I think a lot of people don't have. And we definitely need more people, not just women like you, but more people like you in this world, because there's a lot of people that they just forget, like they were talking about money, or you were talking about money, and you were like, it's not so much about the money as much as it's about the opportunity to do what your gift is and to bless other people. The money stuff comes, but we get so trained in the glitz and the glamour and the shiny and the bright that we think it's all about getting the bag. And it's way beyond that. So that's good. That's good that you have that a part of you.
It's never about the bag, because I remember when I had nothing. And when it's all said and done, the bag and the stuff and the cars and the house, it's just stuff.
Yeah.
But when I have a bad night on stage, it's my husband and my children that I come home to that say, baby, I'm proud of you.
Right.
When I try to convince my husband that I had a bad set, and he was like, if you did, nobody knew it but you. You know what I'm saying? my Gucci bag is nice, but it ain't never complimented me ever.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
So
But that Jeep you got, that Jeep ain't no joke.
Me. He does compliment me. The Jeep has said some very nice things to me. So
that's a beautiful Jeep you got on, girl.
Say nothing about my Jeep now. Wait a minute.
Yeah, you get that thing fixed up, get a little makeup on her, you know.
She got new shoes. She got some extensions. She good. Don't say nothing bad about my Jeep. That's when I go off.
No, and those are the things that you work for, and you truly deserve it, homegirl. You know, before we get out of here, is there anything you want to let the folks who still tuned in know about you or how to find you? Feel free to let them know.
Yes. First of all, Quincy, thank you so much. And we cannot allow this much time to go by before we hang out, even virtually.
Yeah.
We gotta be able to connect with our people, because we're at a time now where when this is all over, the playing field will be level again.
There you go.
It'll be level. We've been able to bring people down to an even level that normally we would never be able to touch or be able to see.
Yeah.
You know, you can jump on the comics and sit the comments in the Instagram live, and you got Sid the Entertainer that can see it. And, you know, like right now we're at a place where we have to use this to our advantage, you know, and right now it's like each one reach one. Put people's names in rooms that they normally wouldn't be in, because that's only going to be a blessing to your gift. You know what I'm saying? So just make sure that, you know, when it's time and they say, hey, who else? That you don't be like, oh, Shorty, he shorted me $20. He's funny, but his, you know, like you can't, this ain't that time. Handle that on the back end. But
yes.
Yeah, we gotta do this again. And shout out to everybody that tuned in. But you guys can find me everywhere. Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat.
You still on Snapchat?
Well, it's there. I'm not really there. I'm on TikTok.
I'm the same way.
It's there, but I don't know what go on it. I got TikTok.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, I got my TikTok going, and like they said right there, Corey B. YouTube is comedian Correy Bell, or if you just put it, what the kids say, just Google me.
Just Google. Google. I'm out there.
Damon Williams has a new comedy series called Laugh Tonight with Damon Williams.
Yeah, I think I saw that.
Yeah, and it's on Urban Flix TV, which is a new platform like Netflix, but it's for everybody. You know, so that, you know, it's for everybody. It's for all of us. You did it first, so don't try to make it. It was you. You did it first.
I said, look, it's a joke I have on stage, and I say that, and I say, you know, I'm gonna lose my black card when I give this information out, but because I'll do a mixed room, white and black, and I'll say, but black folks just understand we all need to come together by this information. And so I said, so white folks, we don't, and you will never catch your black co-workers ever saying anything with race, colors, and nothing. We always say, hey, is he here today?
That's funny.
Oh, he here. Oh, oh, he here.
That's hilarious.
Yes. Yeah. So believe me, I understand. I come from the corporate world, but just the stuff like, when are you going to be on that platform?
I'm on it now. All of the episodes are on there now. It's a bunch of amazing. Somebody said, "What's wrong with Snap?" Nothing. If you under 35, under 30, supposed to snap. Snap and chat. That ain't for me. It moves too fast. They want you to do too much. You got dog ears and
we old.
Yeah, we old. We're not doing that. We ain't doing it. We just figured out how to get Instagram Live going right now. We on StreamYard. We doing it.
Look, man, you try to teach like during this time, Corey, trying to have like your older aunt and all them, because this is the only way to stay connected. Look, do you see me?
Yeah.
Like, am I too close? Mama, I can see that you have the coronavirus. I can see right up the nostrils.
Oh my God. Oh, old people and technology. That's a whole nother joke. We'd be here another 4 hours. But yes, you guys, please follow me on everything. Go to Urban Flicks TV. Watch Laugh Tonight with Damon Williams. They do have a free trial for 7 days, and then it's $4.99 a month afterwards. So
Gotcha. Okay.
yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you so much, Corey, for stopping by. And definitely, I know the last couple of times that you came down to Virginia Beach, I know I tried to link up with you, but time just kind of got in the way. So
I'll be back.
You know my number, and definitely if I'm in the area, I'm gonna hit you up too, because getting some stage time is always good when you're in a new place.
Always good. Always good. I love y'all.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Quincy.
No problem. Love you too, sis, man. Y'all be easy and take care of your favorite child. Oh yeah, don't forget to text me your favorite child's name so I make sure that I have it. I think I got it. It starts with a J.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Got you.
Got it.
Okay. Cool. All right. Well, thank you so much, Corey. And yeah, we'll be following you out there on all the other stuff that you got going on, homegirl.
Right.
All right. Peace. Folks, that was a lot of fun. Now, real quick, because I know that we went long, but I think this is like the average time all the time now. So it looks like the name of her favorite child is Jaden. Okay, some people spelled it Jayden. Some people spelled Jaden. So it looks like who got it? The first person that I see who's gotten it, it looks like Victoria, which is the name of my mama. Hey, Victoria, Victoria, what's happening, homegirl? Yeah, Victoria Hexall. She's out there in Newport News. Thank you for tuning in, Victoria. I'm going to verify because it's like I said, I'm broadcasting on two simultaneously, which I can't even spell, but at the same time on two different things, on my group page and on my regular profile page. So I need to just check them both just to make sure time wise. But I believe you are the first one to get it correct. So just because you're looking at one of the lives, if you don't see Victoria's name or profile picture, then it's probably because it's on the other one. But I see everything consolidated onto one comment stream. So don't get mad at me and say that's messed up. I'm the one that got it first. All right. So yes, Victoria, I will verify all that after we get off the phone. After we get off this live here. But thank you to everybody that tuned in. Next week, I'm gonna actually take a week off, and I only have four shows left. So I'm gonna do 3 in October, and then do one more to close out this season 1. It's been a pretty cool season 1, and I'm trying to get one of my homeboys. He's big time comic out there, known for his pranks and stuff. So I'm trying to get him. I don't want to say his name, but yeah. So if I can get him to close out or just at any point on those final shows, that would be dope. But thank you all again for taking your Tuesday. And I know some of you are splitting time between this and the election, or this and the debates. So I appreciate you taking the time just to laugh and enjoy some good conversation with quality comedy. And yeah. So thanks again for everybody who tuned in. Thank you for everybody who's just living life. And remember, people, keep wearing your masks so we can continue to get out of this situation that we're in. And big shout out to a family member of mine. It's really an in-law, a family member of my wife's. He was diagnosed with stage 1 prostate. So during this time with people that are sick, y'all just keep in mind that if you wear your mask, then it's not you that you're protecting other people who now have underlying conditions. So at least be respectful in that regard. But I know that he'll be fine and he'll get through it. He's a tough guy, but it's definitely tough news to hear. So, but yeah, so y'all keep wearing your mask. And remember, if you guys are interested, come on, let's do some shirts. These shirts glow in the dark. The words glow in the dark. And yeah, y'all been buying my other shirts from the Perfect Human shirts, but now I need to get rid of these. I got a huge inventory that I bought right before the pandemic hit. So it would help minimize this. So y'all get you one of these. Come on, let's do something. And it can mean anything. You want some nook from your baby, or you just want to take a stand and start making things happen, kind of like what Correy Bell was saying. So y'all keep this in mind. Come on, let's do something. Anyway, I need to go eat, because I always skip dinner with the family so I can do the show, and I am hungry. So I am out, and I will see you guys in 2 weeks. Yeah, I'll see you in 2 weeks. All right, y'all take care.
Daddy took jokes.